Well, this is a perfect segue. We have Stifler here. Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. So rate your own looks.
11.
Own looks. Well, we'll start with you, and then we'll go around the table. Go ahead.
10. Maybe like a 7, 8.
Okay. Closer to the mic. Go ahead.
This is hard because, like, I mean, I have like such different moods and different personalities that, like, if I'm feeling manic, I think I'm like a million. But if I'm like depressed, I think I'm like a -1.
What about right now?
So
Yeah, how you feeling right now?
right now,
Arson Princess.
Arson Princess. All right, like I've been on the sick one for like 2 weeks. So right now we in our, I'm feeling
You've
10
been unwell?
right now.
You've been sick?
No, like, I'm on a sick one.
What the hell does that mean?
Sick one. She's dope.
In Australia? Oh, okay. Which is sick. Sick means like really
Sick.
cool in Australia. Okay.
So, like a sick cunt.
Yeah, sick can't. Yeah. Americans can't say it. Don't try.
American. Sorry.
Period.
Wait, so 1 to 10.
Okay,
Right
1
now.
to 10. Shoot, I gotta be like a little bit humble. Okay, nah, it's like no, yeah, never mind.
You got
Back
it.
on 10.
You
10,
can do
11,
it.
11. We can do it.
You got it. 10. Wait, 10?
We at 10.
We just said got to be a little humble.
Okay, gotta be. Understand that. Switch up my mind. Like.
Okay,
Whatever.
She's
Yeah.
a 10.
She 10. She 10.
She's a 10.
11. I'm very attractive.
What about you?
9.
Okay.
I'd say like a 7 or an 8.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Stop. My boyfriend would be upset with me if I didn't say 10.
Your boyfriend would be
Yeah.
upset with you if you didn't say you're a
Yes.
But what do you think you are?
What do I
What?
think I am?
Let's say your boyfriend dumped you right now, and
No.
you're
Don't
free to
say
do
that.
whatever you wish.
Don't say that.
No, if your boyfriend never heard this, what would you say if you were in a quiet, dark room by yourself?
7.
7?
Oh, okay. All right. What about you?
A 9.
Okay.
And our friend up the back there, gotta
Yeah,
creep,
just
creep into a microphone.
I'd say probably a 7.
7. Okay.
I like really fucked up my hair cutting it.
It looks good. Don't say that.
It looks good.
Otherwise, I would have said 8 like a month ago, but now I'll go with like a 6.9.
6.9.
I look way better in person than on camera, I'll be honest.
Didn't see you back there.
I'm a 4 on a good day.
4 on a good day. Okay. All right.
3.14.
Oh, come on. What is it, pie?
Yeah. She got the attractiveness of pie, though. Pie is so
I
attractive.
give myself a safe 7, but I feel like I'm being a bit too cocky after hearing you guys. A 3.14.
What's yours, Brian?
5. 5. I give myself a 5. Yeah. Who
I
said
swear
it?
you were a 7.
That was this one right here.
I swear you were a 7 when I first came
She's
in.
gonna be honest with
Wait,
it.
Kayla said yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mid white guy. There you go. Cool.
You were a 7? Like last July?
No, so like I used to say 6. I used to say 6.9 on a good day, but I gained weight. I got a dad bod right now, so I can't claim
That's
6
even
no
better,
more.
a dad
I'm
I
bod.
feel like you can claim a 6.
What's
I
that?
think a
I feel like you can
6
claim a
to
6.
7.
You're
I
like
got a
6
dad
foot
bod.
2.
There's
I
a
think
huge
us women
difference for
should
dad
vote.
bods.
I think he's def a 6.
Nah.
Dad bods
Maybe
for
a
some
7.
women are 10.
Yeah, that's coke.
Yeah,
It's coke.
girls love-
Dad bods ain't
A
it.
lot of bods are in.
Nah, I'd rather be physically fit. I'm chilling on that.
You should be, but yeah, women have different scales. You're like a 12.
Oh,
to a woman
thanks.
with that.
All right.
Y'all are generous.
All right, 3.14.
You know, with those jokes now.
It should have been 3.04.
Serious.
Oh, wow.
Wait, are you the only 10? Is she the only 10?
I'm the only
11.
11.
She's 11.
Oh, she's an 11. Okay, well, I'm not going to rate you, but you're not an 11.
Okay.
No, Brian, can you please tell me at least?
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Why
you
don't
would
you
rate
just
her?
rate us?
Just rate us.
And then just go around the table.
I like
No
how I like
feelings
no
hurt.
first of all I like how he called me out of everybody else because all of you voted lower than you actually physically are.
No,
He
they
called
didn't. They were
me
just being
out.
truthful. These two were voted
No,
lower than they are, but everyone else was rather truthful except the other 10s. Was there any other 10s?
I was making
I said
She was a 10.
Oh, she was a 10
You were
too.
in two
Wait,
minds, though. I
if
didn't
it's-
believe
okay.
you anyway.
If
I
it's
believed
not
you when
gonna
you said
hurt
11.
anybody, if it's
I
not
thought
gonna
you
hurt
meant it.
anybody's
I do.
feelings, can we
Like a
hear
5.
Brian's rating?
I need to know what they're rating.
Yeah. So when you say 11, do you think that there's any room for improvement? Do you think that you have any room for improvement
I think
physically?
I think aging is one of the most beautiful things that we do as people, like existing.
You're
and
27, right?
I am, and so
It's a good age.
even I don't thank you.
Yep,
Even a matter of how different I looked 3 years ago versus now. I love aging, and I'm excited for the process of aging, and
You're excited to age.
I am.
We're all marching steadily towards the grave.
Said
So
no.
3 years ago, you were better than you are now, or worse?
I was the same but different. I find it like dissonant because I don't change any like personal habits of like grooming or otherwise whenever it comes to like how I do my hair or like how I like hold myself, but like definitely like okay, I have nicer fitted clothes now that I actually make more money than
When you say
whatever.
11, are you thinking about it in your eyes, or are you thinking about it in like the broader society of like what other people would probably
In general.
consider you as well?
So
So you think that
in
you're
general,
Or,
like
Like beautiful. Like I
You're
think
really
you are like
pretty.
incredibly the standard, basically.
Thank you.
I think that this is why girls aren't very good friends to each other sometimes.
bro.
Because
Wait, okay, so you're actually gonna
if
tell
I
me
if I if I had a friend telling me that he's a 10 and he's not, I'd just tell the guy. You're
Yeah,
not,
Well, but-
not a 10. You're
so-
a bit delusional.
I feel like
I'm a very
So you're,
I feel like if anything-
hold on a second.
Yeah.
When you
She's
say
a
you're
very
an 11, as you said, that is the top percentile.
Okay, I get
like
what
that
you're
is
saying.
Victoria's Secret supermodel.
Why
Like
why
Bella
is
Hadid.
Victoria's
That is-
Secret the standard
Bella
of beauty?
Hadid.
Because they're like
Yeah,
they're
for real,
considered
put
some
me
of the
on that
most
list
beautiful
too.
women in the world. They're pretty fine. The Victoria's
Okay.
Maybe
Secret
in like
models.
2017, but Victoria's Secret has changed.
I'm a little confused on like your
But that's
I would
like,
say
that's
Rihanna,
like barometer
Rihanna
societal
like Ponder
standards.
Replay. Her face would be like
That
a
being
10.
said, they
so-
that you're
Okay,
you're
we're talking
dating
about, like,
yourself there. You're
we're
dating
talking
yourself.
about like the
Rihanna.
aging it, yeah, because like nobody like I feel like in like this generation of like younger women, nobody's thinking like, oh, Rihanna's the beauty standard. They're thinking like Cardi B, even like Nicki
Are you
Minaj
calling me
used to
old?
say.
I'm 1
telling-
year older than you.
Honey, I'm telling you that it's showing. I'm telling you that your preferences of they're nice preferences.
So
to
you think
have.
that me having a preference for
derailing, but-
Rihanna Ponder Replay is showing my age?
It seemed as though that's not a bad. It's not a jab, hun. Like,
No, you win this one because
She's just calling you hip. She's calling you hip.
calling me hip. Cool.
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
want the
it's
honor
you're
of
kind of
rating
like
us.
you're kind
will.
of
I'll rate you guys.
deflecting. You're kind of deflecting from the actual conversation at hand by questioning like his awareness of modern musicians. Ultimately, we are talking about rating, and you rated yourself an 11. You rated yourself a 10.
don't
Again,
think
I'm
she
not
had
particularly. Can you guys stop interrupting, please? I'm not particularly inclined to actually rate any of you, but those of you who claim to be a 10 or 11 in your case, there's no 10 sitting at this table.
Is that supposed to hurt my feelings?
I'm not. No, I'm. No, it's
I
just.
mean,
it's
is
like
that supposed to be a
it's-
big mic drop moment?
No,
like, I'm
it's just.
confused.
It's purely just a statement of
it's-
fact. I'm not doing it to get a rise out of you or to try to be triggering.
I'm confused because I think we can all agree that on the topic of how I believe that looks are only important on the first impression. I don't believe that any of us are walking around saying we need a 6'5" man who's 300 pound
That is
muscle and all that.
irrelevant,
but,
though.
Well,
I mean,
but what I'm saying is
subjective,
because
though.
I'm being compared to Victoria's Secret models when in
Yeah.
reality I don't have any barometer
That's
of
the
what
world.
I don't have any barometer of how I view
yeah,
men
but
attractive.
you don't get to dictate to the world how attractive
You
or
asked
unattractive
me,
you are.
honey. You asked
right,
me.
but the question, the sense of the question is what general, like how am I generally perceived? For example, let me ask all the girls here a question. If a guy who was obese, he was unkempt, didn't groom himself, smoked weed all day, lived at his parents' house, played video games all day, just neck beard. I'm trying to think of other things. 5'5". I mean, some of these are not really related to physical attractiveness, but if he claimed he was a 10, would you guys like
I just
co-sign
feel
that and
like
just be like, yeah, he's a
everything-
10?
That just makes no
No.
sense to me.
Why would I sit there and be like, hey, what do you think you are? And then somebody say, well, this is how I view myself. And you go, well, screw you. You're actually not. Like, it's just a very
No.
strange.
Well,
It just-
I mean,
there's-
it depends if you're having a round table conversation about
But
it.
okay, so
really.
am I an overweight older man who has a neck beard who smokes weed and is ungrooming himself? No.
That's
my
kind of a-
hair is
You make
done.
really
Kind of
like
a silly
bad
point.
faith. You make really bad faith, disingenuous arguments.
I don't mean to. I
I'm
don't
saying,
mean to do
yeah,
that.
no, but you're saying, am I calling you that? No, but I'm trying to use an extreme to try to articulate a point.
Mm-hmm.
We can all agree that some people are more attractive than others, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yes, okay.
Have you girls never rated men on their physical appearance? Like, physical appearance means nothing to you?
I'm very.
I definitely.
So I said that physical looks. This started because I made the assertion that I believe physical looks are only important on the first go, and now you're insinuating. Do women even like rate men? I'm confused on how we got here. I
think
suppose.
women don't tend to have as like constructive of like a scale
Borderline.
as men do.
Yeah.
I think. Oh,
Close to the mic.
I think women don't really have that structured of a scale as men do. I think that they tend to value, like, for example, you like the bad boys, you like a particular type of men. We all have our specific type, and so based off of that is what we're going to consider a 10. But we don't really value.
It's more based on a type, whereas for men, there's a beauty standard set for the world, which is Victoria's Secret model, which is artist, and that makes sense as to why
but
you
the
would
thing is as
have
well,
that.
I rated myself a 7. I think Brian was maybe a little bit harsh with the 5. But men, we have to kind of understand that, because if I walk around saying I'm a 10 and I'm flawless, then my friends will look at me like you are a delusional idiot. And this is what girls don't have. And then you sort of like argue to the girls about the fact, no, I am 11 because of my subjective.
I'm not telling
it doesn't
any
matter
other-
about your subjective opinion. You're simply not a 10.
I have never once been a girl. Oh my God, you're so pretty. No, you're so pretty, bestie. Like I can't stand whenever that women have that kind of like attitude. I guess.
This is genuinely not making any sense to me.
That's
because,
not making no sense to me.
No, this is genuinely not making any sense to me because he asked us what we would rate ourselves, and then he said because in his head there's no Rihanna sitting at this table. There's no Bella
literally,
Hadid.
yeah.
Well, let me finish. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So then he's saying that there's no 10s at this table. All I'm saying is okay. Because
Exactly.
in his opinion, there's no Rihanna or there's no Bella Hadid. So there's no 10 to him at this table.
Precisely. So I'm
So
perfectly
you're
fine
an
with
11
that
to
premise.
you. So then
Yeah.
there is a 10 at this table to you.
I'm very
There's a
confused
10
by
at
the
this table to me.
like assertion of the premise that I need to agree and like I need to concede. Okay, fine, I'm really not. When you asked my honest opinion and I gave my honest opinion, I think physically.
So your honest opinion is you're ranking yourself in 11. You are on par with the most beautiful women in the
That have
world.
ever
There's no
existed.
women.
Yes.
There's no women that are more attractive than you. You're just.
I
I honestly
That's
think
a really
I honestly
strange
think that's
in terms
very
of-
beautiful. I think it's very beautiful for a woman to look at herself and call herself the most beautiful woman in the world.
Okay,
I
but
think
if
that
that
is
is
self-love.
totally and utterly unattractive.
question
If a
is
woman looks at herself in the mirror and says,
Right.
I'm
No,
the most
because
beautiful...
at
Hold on a
the
second.
end of
Hold
the
on.
day-
Stop interrupting.
Go ahead.
If somebody looks at themselves in the mirror and says, I'm the most beautiful woman in the world, you think that that's attractive?
See, that's where you're wrong. See, that's where you're wrong.
You see,
because
this is why girls shouldn't be friends with each other. They
No,
need
this is me.
they need brothers and they need
This is where
fathers to
you're-
put
I
them
had
in
an
their place
incredible
about
father
them.
figure.
My father always told me that shit.
Yeah, my father figure
Hold on.
raised me to know my
So-
worth, and so because I know my value and I'm asserting
So-
my value
This
at a table
This
that I'm
is where
considered
you're wrong,
unreasonable.
though. This is where you're wrong, though, because
Okay,
I'm
tell
not
me.
saying that you're looking yourself in the mirror and thinking that your eye shape is perfect, your nose shape is
But
perfect.
that
your
is what
eyebrows
it
are
means
10.
to be the most
no,
beautiful
no, no,
woman
no,
in the
no, no, no,
world.
no, Being the most beautiful woman in the world is the inside and out. Being a woman.
But we just
Can you-
said on
can you scoot
physical.
your
We just
mic
said
to
on
the edge of
physical
the
looks.
table?
We weren't.
I know, but she's
Hey,
saying she's the
scoot
most
your
beautiful.
mic to the edge of the table,
Oh, sorry.
please.
She's saying she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
I mean,
to
if you
her,
want to take a tape measure
because
to my
not
waist
just
size, to
because
my
of
lip size,
physical.
to the way that my nose is, my whole
I don't
jawline,
have to
if
because
you
I can look at
wanted
you and see
to-
that you're not a 10.
If a man
Okay,
was
that's
to
okay.
sit here,
Les, no. Les wants to go. Go ahead.
if a man was to sit here and tell us all he's a 10, knowing all of us knowing damn well he's not a 10, you think us as females is not going to sit here and be
No,
like,
because you're females.
no, what I'm saying
You
is
won't do it because you're not honest.
Let her finish.
I will straight up tell you guys 100%, no, you are not a 10. We're asking for the general population. I will,
wouldn't say that.
like, I genuinely, I agree with them because,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. If a man
My
was to
team.
sit here in our face and claim that he's a whole 10, when everyone here knows he's not a 10, obviously, like, that's just the general population of what they're thinking. Like,
But you'll probably
it's not
covertly
just to,
communicate
it's
it
just
though.
not to yourself.
The market, the dating marketplace determines your value.
Right.
It's
Right,
not.
that's
you don't get
God
to
determines my value,
self-determine.
but
Do you think there's only
Okay, I'm
one
not talking
dating
about
market, though?
your value in terms
but that's
of.
how I see myself.
No, but
And,
I'm
like,
not.
that's-
It wasn't the
but-
question.
But if
We're talking about physical.
we're
beauty.
talking about the dating marketplace. I'm not
Okay.
talking about your value as a human. I'm talking about your value in the dating marketplace.
Okay.
And I think we can all agree there are some potential partners that might be more optimal partner choices than others. And so we would evaluate that and perhaps rank order them. Oh, here, look. You have an option of two people. You find one more attractive. It could be physical, it could be personality, it could be status, it could be all sorts of things. You've just made like to some degree a judgment on that person. Maybe it's a 1 and a 0. It's a yes or a no. That is a judgment in its own right. And then if you have enough people leaning more towards giving a yes to, say, person A versus person B, then you can rank order them. And then if you have 100 people, then you start rank ordering them. And that would be your value in the dating marketplace. And we're talking specifically when it comes to just looks. Why are you confused?
What are you asking me now?
What just happened?
No, he's outlining to you that the fact that this is something that we can actually quantify. We can quantify people.
Here, let me ask you a question. So let's say we lined up 10,000 men.
Okay.
And those men were all unbiased, and they were all tasked with ranking you on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
And I don't know if it would be the mean or the average, but they came to the conclusion that you're a 7. 10,000 men. Okay. That's the sample size. Would you be like, well, that seems pretty reasonable. 10,000 men have rated me. I'm likely to be a 7.
Those are 10,000 different worldviews and experiences. That's 10,000 different people who view different. So that's 10,000 people where one can say, okay, the Victoria's Secret beauty model is the standard, and then there's another person that says, oh, actually, the person who's playing on Euphoria or on HBO is actually the beauty standard.
Yeah, so they'd both be pretty hard.
So it seems very I guess the root of this matter seems very confusing.
What she's trying to say.
Do you want me to admit that I'm unattractive in a way that I don't agree with? I'm confused.
No. We're just simply pointing out the delusion in your view on yourself. That's
Can
all.
I interject?
So when you take 10,000 people,
it's a little delusion.
Let's say that there's like a perfectly even cross section of the population, people from all different walks of life, and they were all to come to the consensus that you were a 7. Would you accept it?
Are you okay? What? Why are you so trying to convince? No, I'm very.
It comes
But why don't you actually answer his question and engage in good faith instead of trying to say, "Are you okay? Who hurt you?"
Well,
Actually just
I
answer
didn't
his
ask.
question.
I'm confused because I feel very targeted because 2 other women on this panel also said, "Oh, I see myself as 10." So why are we not continuing?
She said her boyfriend sees her as a 10.
She walked it back.
And I didn't really believe
she's not really
said
pushing.
You were encouraged.
We got some.
Motorsports donated $200. Bewin M8. It is rare to see so many unmarried, single, boring, plain Jane Central casting reject females argue they are mega hot. For sake, ladies, less drugs, more reality.
Okay, all right, Grid 1 Motorsports. Thank you.
Don't speak for all of us, for real.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, don't speak for all of us, for real.
Beauty is very subjective, and
no, it's not. Beauty is objective.
There's an objective. There's to some degree an
okay.
objective.
Can I say that there is an objective, but that objective changes throughout the world too. Let's say you go to Africa,
you're not going to make this argument.
Well, no, I am.
She's
If
maybe
you go to Africa, women that are bigger are typically seen as more attractive.
Cool.
Over
we're not
here,
in
we
Africa.
are in
How about
America.
if I carve out? Let me carve out the caveat. We'll just talk about the United States. Let's just talk about the
that's
United
a better.
States. We can even talk,
Western.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck what some tribe. I don't care. We can always try to reach to some extreme would some tribe in fucking
It's not just a tribe,
fucking Mozambique find me attractive? Yeah, dude, Mozambique bitches fucking think I'm a 10. Dope, bro. I don't give a fuck. I ain't ever going to Mozambique.
Okay, I'm on your side. I know that there is an objective beauty, but I'm saying it can definitely change.
I do get what you're saying.
It's not concrete to Western beauty standards everywhere in the world.
So you're saying in Jamaica, for example, they like chubby white girls.
Yeah,
if a chubby white girl goes to Jamaica, she's not safe on the beach. Right?
I have no idea what their beauty standards are, but I know that there are different beauty standards around the world. But what I'm saying, and then I wanted to explain to her, look, yes, there is objective beauty standards.
Somebody please give me a Tylenol.
As far as the West goes, right? The West, as far as the West goes, yes, there are objective beauty standards, and what they're just trying to say, that's where I got thrown off was because he said you can't dictate to the rest of the world, right, what you are. That's why I got confused.
I was confused as well.
How about here's another thought experiment. Let's say we lined up. It could be 10,000 men, 10,000 women.
Okay.
And then there was 10,000 men and 10,000 women, all judging them and rating them and rank ordering them from maybe it'd be easier to conceptualize this if we use 100. Let's say you had 100 people in front of you, varying differences when it comes to their physical appearance, and then we had 10,000 people all rank ordering them from most attractive to least attractive. Now, granted, some people might put this person more attractive than this, but I would suspect, and I'm hoping, I don't know if you guys will agree on this, do you think though that there's going to be a cohort of people that tend to gravitate towards the top, 10,000 people.
I see what you're saying.
They're gonna
I'm understanding.
They're gonna kind of fall within a margin of error, basically.
Sure. Because now that we're talking about like statistically and like versus like, oh, what do you just casually rate yourself?
Here, I've got another question.
Oh,
do you want to respond to that?
well, I was gonna say, if we're talking about the objective Western beauty standards, if you put a picture of, let's say, Sabrina Carpenter, Paris Hilton, and
Paris Hilton.
do you not think she's gorgeous?
Back in her day.
Are you crazy?
Back in her day, she was great.
She's incredible. Paris is amazing. Bella Hadid. You said did you say Gigi Hadid? For
I have no
instance?
idea who that is.
I think you said one of the Hadid girls.
I said Rihanna, Ponder Replay.
I said
Hey,
Bella
Mr.
Hadid.
DJ,
Rihanna
Ponder
is my
Replay.
idol.
She said Bella Hadid. But if we're talking objectively, like Western standards, okay, larger lips, higher cheekbones, slimmer jawline, smaller waist, larger tits. There are facets of my physical being that I align with that. So it makes sense for my thought pattern to look in the mirror and say, oh yes, this is what Western beauty standards are telling me is beautiful. Of course.
Okay, so the thing is, you've been talking for like 5 minutes. You started getting emotional. Everyone started getting emotional. They're baiting you. They want you to just say yes, sir. Just say yes, sir.
I'm not
whatever
baiting anyone.
Whatever you say is the law. Whatever you think is truth. And
Listen. I'm not baiting anyone.
Because I said okay.
It's simply.
Just yes.
Were you talking about
Hold on.
No, not you.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm not baiting anyone. It's objective that beauty actually operates on somewhat of a bell curve. Most people are normal.
Is that your copium?
Like 70.
No, yes, sir. Of course.
Can
What was
I
that?
interject something?
So about 70-80% of people are probably going to fall between like the 4 and 7 sort of mark, and then it's going to really thin out towards the end. So when we're talking about 9s and 10s, they like if you ever see a 10, they're a head turner. If you ever see a 1, it ruins your day.
Yeah.
You know?
What?
So
I don't think about people like what?
yeah, you haven't seen a 1 then.
Yeah, I disagree.
That's like.
It's horrendous.
Can
Like-
I please like interject something?
Yes, please.
So I'm kind of surprised that other people haven't like arrived at this already. But it's so you guys
Yes.
are seeming to have like a much more logical, objective approach to a beauty standard, and some of the other girls are holding themselves to a much more loose, less rigid
Yes, queen.
Yes.
form of beauty.
Subjective.
And it's
Like,
yeah,
like
sure,
my
but
10
it's
isn't
just
your
like
10, you know?
Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know?
Okay,
I definitely
but-
think
just
there's
understanding
limitations
the
on beauty
simple difference of,
standards.
like,
No, I understand the
psychological
difference, but that's
brain
why it's a
versus
debate
the-
because we have our differences.
And that's the difference
and then-
between the female brain and the male
But
brain.
it's not a
though.
debate if you ask my opinion and then you say you're wrong. It's like why I
Yeah,
was
that
waiting
was-
for the
Actually-
okay, let's move
that
on.
was a
Actually,
little
the
bit
way that the
ridiculous.
conversation works is you say what you think, I say what I think, I substantiate it with whatever like the metrics are that I use, you substantiate it with whatever the metrics are that you use, and then we let everybody decide who's right. But what happened was I was substantiating it and you were just saying, oh, what's wrong with
I
you?
feel
You're
it.
But
triggered.
no,
You were just shaming.
Girl, say okay.
Well, can I? Well, hold
Girl-
on. I just want to
girl,
say,
just say okay.
Because the reality is, I specified. You asked about statistical comparison as far as the beauty standard, so I specified. Okay, are you asking about the size of my lips, my cheekbones? Like I did engage with you equally. You just didn't like my answer, and that's
No.
okay.
Wait, can we
here's
ask them what they
here's a
think?
question. So going back to my previous example, if 10,000 people rated you a 7, would that change your answer? Or would you say, I reject the estimation of 10,000 people, I reject that, I'm still a 10? Are you gonna, I literally just asked her a question. Go ahead.
I'm confused.
What is
Like,
confusing?
If like 100,000 people, we did a poll,
Okay.
100,000 people, and they rated you a 7, would that give you any reason to change your self-assessment? Could your self-assessment be wrong?
Why would I change my self-assessment based on the opinions of other people that don't
reality
Like
hits
just
hard sometimes.
reality,
Well, that's
truth.
the thing is, I think
That's
you're
your
using a scale
reality,
that
my
people
reality
don't
is
usually
different.
use in
You're
real life.
looking at
Like,
it
there
as
is
like
an
a-
objective scale. But
I don't think it
typically
matters.
negate those that
I
fit
don't
their
care
type
what
and they're
10,000
very
people
I
think.
agree.
Yeah.
We're not
I just don't
saying
even
that
care.
she's not going to be able to find a partner.
No, I'm not
That's
saying
not
that
what
you
we're
are. I'm just
arguing.
saying it's just like I don't know. It's like rounding 10,000 people to a judge here is just never gonna happen. So like that's why there's a distance.
Yeah.
It's a
It
hypothetical.
depends what 10,000
Okay.
people you use too. Like literally, she could
Bruv.
be someone's
No,
10, you know?
I think
If it's like if it's like what's the term if you're like doing a study and you have like a wide
peer-reviewed
swath
study?
of different
Cross-section.
cross-section of different people.
Yeah.
I mean, 10,000 is such a significant sample size
It would be that would be a significant study.
That's a huge. A lot of studies, it's like what 1,000 people. They'll fucking be able to get fairly accurate results off of. Like
I would be
1,000.
grateful to get a 7 out of 10,000 people. I would be grateful for that.
I think.
See, but I think
would be
she's
fascinating,
objectively a
but-
10. Like, I actually think she's objectively a 10, though.
I genuinely.
Do you think
I
it's
feel-
do you think it's the aesthetic, or do you think it's like actually her actual physical like appearance?
I think that I think she's a beautiful girl.
she-
We're not
good-looking
saying
girl.
that she's not attractive.
But I'm not. I just don't
No, I
think
know, but a
there's-
10, like I mean,
But
like
even on an
I
objective scale, we
like
do
on an
think she
objective
fits-
scale.
Please into
yeah.
the mic.
Oh, sorry.
There's definitely limitations on the beauty standard, like you guys said. Like, there, at some point you can't reach an 8 or a 9 because Rihanna is an 8 or a 9, and you don't touch that status. And it's not like a thing where it's like I'm not that pretty.
And as a
like-
guy, you can't. If you're below 6 foot as a
It's-
guy, you're never going to get above like maybe a 7 or so, unless
Right.
you are
That's
just
not true.
strikingly handsome.
it just goes off
You don't.
like
you think
what
that
other
guys who
people
are under,
like
under 6
standards
foot
are.
are going to be like the creme de la creme?
I think that women and men view attraction very differently, and I think that height is not a factor in the way that most women operate. I think for
I
men,
disagree.
it is.
I disagree.
I'll ask
100%
a question.
disagree.
I'll ask a question. Here's a question. So, 2 men, Brad Pitt, Donald Trump. Now, if you were to
Brad
ask
Pitt.
all the women in the world, and they can just judge based off of physical looks, do you think that there would be a tendency for more women than not to rank Brad Pitt as more attractive than Donald Trump?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is it all subjective? It's just subjective, and who
Melina
knows?
seems
Who
to love
knows?
him.
I feel
Melina
like-
Trump
I
seems
do
to
not-
love him. I think
God,
it is
it's so bad
subjective.
faith. It's so bad
The
faith.
only thing that I would
Bad
do.
faith?
You're, it's so bad faith because I'm not asking, will there never be any one singular woman who will find Donald Trump attractive? That's not what I'm asking.
You're answering a more of a broader question when he's asking more of a like
So,
straightforward
are you asking,
question.
as far as Western beauty standards are concerned,
No, just-
between
wait,
Donald
question.
Trump and Brad Pitt, which one do you think women are going to go for?
How about we do
Brad
it?
Pitt.
Let's ask the table. Who's more physically attractive, Brad Pitt or Donald Trump?
I don't think either of them are attractive.
Who's more?
No, which
it
one would
doesn't
you
matter. Who's
say is
more
more?
attractive?
But if you think they're equally,
Oh my god,
No,
it's a yes or no question.
there's-
Who's more? You got to go into a room
It's a,
with
it's
one
a
of
yes
them.
or like.
I'm straight, and I know who's
You're
more
the
physically
last-
attractive.
You're the last female on the planet with these 2 men. Who are you going into a room with to make more children
I
to
need to think
continue
of
this?
Yeah,
two
period.
And they're both breeders as well.
Or anything like that. If you're gonna go into a room with anyone to
probably Donald Trump just to have a conversation.
Okay, period.
All right, next
based
one.
off
Next one.
physical attraction.
You.
Donald Trump,
She
Brad
didn't,
Pitt.
I don't
Who
think
you
she
going
answered.
for?
Did you answer?
Your answer?
Am I supposed to answer
Yes.
if Donald Trump is attractive?
No.
Oh my God, bro, what is wrong?
Who
with
is
you?
more?
I understand. Yeah, it's just silly to me.
Just,
Can
no, it's just
somebody-
a constant bad
Can
faith
somebody
arguments,
please get me
but-
It's not
Tylenol?
meant to be bad
You know
faith.
what?
I
You
just,
could
it's just
you
feels
could just be
silly.
good faith and just answer the question.
Okay, then okay. Would you like me to say that Brad Pitt fits the Western
It's not
beauty
what
standard?
it's not what I would like you to say. It's what I'm asking
It
you.
feels
What you
like you're waiting for me to say something very specific, and that's why I feel like I'm at a
Yeah,
loss
yeah,
right
so
now.
so you're
Brad
saying
Pitt or
you don't have
And
the,
I said,
stop
according to the Western
Let me
beauty,
finish.
that-
Are you saying that you don't have the mental capacity to make a determination right here and right now who is more physically attractive, Brad Pitt or Donald Trump? That's the question. You need not what's it called? You need not belabor the point any further. Just answer the question.
Who has a better chance with you, Donald Trump
Jesus
or Brad Pitt?
fucking Christ.
I just said that Brad Pitt adheres to the Western beauty standard, like way more than
Retarded
Donald.
answer.
That's not really what you
yeah.
said, but okay.
Brad Pitt, duh.
That is what she said.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
No, she said, are you wanting me to answer in this way? I want you to
Verbatim?
just say the truth.
I
want you to.
actually said I did say according to the Western
Verbatim,
beauty standard.
she
No, you
Verbatim.
did
I
because
know,
the
she
question.
said-
The question is, who do
I don't
you?
think you heard
hold
her.
on,
Beauty
hold on,
standard.
hold on. The question is, who do you find more attractive? And when you say Brad Pitt fits the Western beauty standard, that's not answering the question. That's dancing around the question.
like
So there we go.
hella
Anyway,
Period.
who wants to go
But
next?
we
Well, no,
said Brad
at
Pitt.
first she
Brad
said
Pitt, Brad
Donald
Pitt,
Trump.
Brad Pitt. Yes, based. Donald Trump, 2024. Who do you want?
Brad Pitt.
My 4-year boyfriend.
Oh my
Brad
God.
Pitt.
Okay, period.
Physically
I
Brad
respect
Pitt,
that
yes.
answer.
Trump.
She said my 4-year boyfriend. Yeah.
But that's the thing is that
See,
I
look,
think
you just answered the question incorrectly.
I think
didn't
when-
you?
No, but I'm a man, so, you know,
I
if
think-
it had to be.